Yeah, hello all. I'm talking to Dhanatai, as I call it, Dhanashri Pandit Rai. What we're trying to do today is understand and explore what makes the music of a musician. What is it? uh, What kind of a journey has the musician been on? What were the elements of the music and how do they craft it in the process? And uh, everybody's music is an ever changing product. We want to talk music today. Let's do that. Welcome, Dhanatai.
Happy to be here.
You've so kindly agreed. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Probably an age old question that you've answered many times. How did it all begin?
So my mother, had this system of testing the arts on all her children because unless you test it, you don't know who's inclined towards which art form. So I think most of us went through music, and a few of my sisters tried dance class, and it was during this testing period that it sort of came to her notice that this girl sings in tune, she has a nice voice, and I think it was one of my mother's innate desires to sing herself, which never happened because she thought she didn't have a sweet voice. So,
Right.
so we had a master coming home every Saturday, and we sat very reluctantly. We had not understood the importance of music then. But I think my basic training got done then. Also, Sare Gama, some basic rags, something we would sit forcibly on Saturdays, and I had got that much training.
Nice.
Then it was later on that one of my elder sisters, said that, you need much more formal training. You're wasting your talent. So she just, dragged me one day to Bhavan's, Bharati Vidya Bhavan, and said, you sign up here. So that was a formal music school. I think that's where my real training began till about Madhyama level.
Okay.
When another, music loving friend said that, you must get even deeper now, sort of choose a guru, depending on your inclination and style of music. So I joined the Bombay University. They have even now, I think they have a very good music program where they select students on the basis of merit and assign them gurus, sort of well established gurus who train in a more intensive style for students to a guru. It's close to the Guru Shishya Parampara, I would say.
Nice. Nice.
So we had these air conditioned cubicles, and I was lucky to get Pandit Firoz Dastur as my teacher.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then I continued. I did my degree there, the Bachelor of Fine Arts. A few years later, I joined back and completed the Master of Fine Arts.
Nice. Exciting.
So that was the Khayal journey. That was the Khayal journey.
Yeah. Excellent. We'll come to
Hmm.
Tumri in some time. But I
Right.
sort of want to go back again. And you said
Hmm.
there was a teacher who would come home and teach you. But by the time you went to Bhavans, that sounded like a commitment to sort of,
Yeah.
okay, here I am formally being educated by an institute. So at that age, did you decide definitely much more serious that this is something I
Yes,
want to
hobby,
do
definitely.
academically?
I understood, that you have to give it time, yet not have the expectation. I think, Mayur, it's probably even you, the epoch when we learned. It
Mm.
was not for any definite goal. It was really for the music. None of us even asked ourselves questions, but I'm putting so much time. Am I going to become famous? Am I going to make money from this? So it was
Absolutely.
really with the most, I would say, Bhagavad Gita philosophy in a way, right? There was
Right.
no
So
expectation from that. Just we
brilliant.
know we had to do it and we had to perfect ourselves. There were days when you felt so demotivated. Some strict teachers also told you, you're just a little drop in that big Nath Sagar. They love to keep telling us that,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
have reached nowhere. You're still just on the journey. So despite all that, we continued.
Correct. Correct. I mean, yes, we get thrown these things quite often. नाथ सागर अभी तो शुरुआत है आगे
शुरुआत
बहुत
है.
चलना है and many of these things are true, but they sound pretty Dakyanusi when we're like, what is he even saying, and that's
Exactly. And we had, at that time reached a particular level. So that's a whole new topic of discussion. encouragement to be given to young
Correct.
students of music rather than frightening them away that you may never master this or
Yeah.
you're not practicing enough or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I remember something similar. Very drawing upon my own reflections, a mix of encouragement and sort of slap on the hand every now and again, and saying, I mean, my Yashwant Bua started teaching me Multani and Todi at the same time, two ragas with the same swaras. And I'd come home brain fried and crying and didn't understand what was
Exactly.
happening for the
So
longest time.
demotivated. Many times we felt,
Yeah,
forget it, should we continue,
yeah. Yeah,
Do we have it in
yes.
us? Do we have it in us? Yeah.
Correct, correct. But you said something very interesting at this. We didn't pursue this with an intention of being able to sing on stage. We did it because you do it, you know, and
Exactly.
yeah,
And
and
we had got hooked. We had got hooked to
exactly, in some way it was
the
a part
music.
of the identity as well. Would you say that? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah, very much so. So this was your khayal journey in general. So had you woken up to any particular gharana by then? Would you say that?
Well, I was again, this was told to me because my listening wasn't at such a great level for me to be able to choose a gharana.
Hmm.
But again, my mother kept encouraging me and saying, Kirana Gharana, you must, because she was a big fan of Bhimsen Joshi, Pandit
Right.
Bhimsen Joshi. So, but university, when they took our voice test, actually they were supposed to kind of gauge which branch would be right for us. I don't know if that happened or I requested that I want Pandit Dastur, but I was that was the teacher assigned to me.
So in Vedantic philosophy, it is said that when the Shishya is ready, the Guru appears, right? In many ways, you know. So I guess that was the case with you, in some ways.
We got ample time, at least half an hour per student, and that's enough for one session if it's uninterrupted. And we were made, suppose there were 4 students to Pandit Firoz Dastur, then we would sit while the other was being tutored also.
Do you remember your first performance, first Khayal performance? Do you remember that?
I think I may not remember the year, but I know I was a college student. IMG at St. Xavier's College had a Young Artist Festival.
Ah, okay.
That I would say was a major one. There must have been smaller ones before that. But that was a major one where, of course, I sang only Khayal at that time.
Right. It's funny you say that because IMG was the first place I heard you sing as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was the first place I heard you sing. So this was Khayal music. Let's come to Tumri, what you do today, and you do it so well, and you talk about it so well. You know, not many musicians are able to dissect what they do the way you do it.
At the time when we learned music, we were discouraged to speak at concerts or anywhere because you were immediately said, oh, she explains music. So then she's in the musicologist. It was almost that if we spoke, I don't know whether you went through it, but I know I did, that you say, oh, you talk about music, is it? So those who talk may not be, they might be doing it to cover up for the fact that they are not such good singers. So I think unlike other countries where if you're a music professor, it doesn't mean you're not a performer. But there was this little strain of, he explains music, or this one is a musicologist and this one's the singer.
Interesting.
I had that kind of advice also.
And from there, we have come to creating an audience and inculcating what we are doing into the audience and giving them a background of our music so that they can savor it so well. Do you see any changes in music, like I'm not asking you about your own music, but the music around you in the realm of Indian classical music? Do you think that?
Well, I think everyone knows what the changes are. Basically, maybe the duration has shortened and you have to show your flash faster. Because people's attention span, music has opened up on so many, sites and channels. You have to be effective, quick and fast. So you would find a very smaller audience for a very leisurely, performance. So I think all the young artists are adding that element of quick and flash so that immediately you're capturing the audience. The attention span now is not the same as,
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
our times, and that's a outcome of the world's bound to change. The speed of the world is going. I don't want to complain about it. I
Not
think
at all.
it's you
Hmm.
have to move with the speed of how the world is moving
Yeah.
ahead. So those elements where you have to impress faster and quicker will always cause a change in the music. Either the speed will be faster, the dance and things which you normally leave for the end may have to be shown earlier.
Hmm. Hmm.
Alap may have to be cut down a bit. Duration of a khayal, shouldn't be 40, 45 minutes. So some younger artists must be, using these techniques to survive.
Interesting.
Because if
Interesting.
you try to do it in the old fashioned way,
Hmm.
you may have people leaving the audience,
Hmm.
leaving the hall.
Hmm. Hmm.
Artists
Well,
have had to
yeah, we
reinvent.
happen to come to audience pretty quickly in our conversation today, actually. But I want to go back to how did Thumri happen to you in terms of, I know probably the university syllabus to do
Yeah.
your Visharad, do you have to learn two Thumris,
Oh,
something like that?
yes. Oh, yes. They used to call the visiting, faculty to teach us that. But that was not the turning point for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
It was, a program that used to come on, I think it was All India Radio at 8 a.m. See, there was the Sangeet Sarita at 7:30 on Vivid Bharati, was it? Sangeet Sarita, which would play, rags and film song in a rag and then the actual performance of a rag. So that program, that's different. That encouraged me to understand rags. But 8 a.m. was the Thumri slot. They
Mm,
would have Begum Akhtar, some of the hardcore Thumri singers singing. It was a 10-minute program.
sure, sure.
Yeah, it was not only Thumri, sorry, now that I remember, uh, Abdul Karim Khan Saab, they would play those short recordings, the 3 minute.
3 minute recordings.
I remember Koeli Ahmad Kar Pukar, I remember hearing
Begum ji
that.
singing there. Yeah.
Yeah, even Fayaz Khan Saab's Banao Batiyan Chalo Kahe
Wow,
Ko
wow.
Jhoti.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
So when, yeah, I mean, I think it was listening to Begum Akhtar, that's the prominent one. I said, wow, this sounds so beautiful. And, it seemed like a part of classical music. It didn't seem like something lighter at all.
Yeah, yeah.
That, I think that program at 8 a.m., which I would tune on to, got me lured. I said, so I started singing that, and I also found that I was taking a little more ornamentation in khayal as it is. I was stopped many times for putting too many murkis while singing khayal. And an interesting thing, Mayur, when I was being examined at university for one of my music exams, Ginde Saab was the examiner.
Wow. Yeah.
Ginde. And he said, he told me that, I heard what you sang right now, but, ornaments are to be put in not so many. Do you see a beautiful woman wearing ornaments from top to toe? No, some places are left vacant. But
Correct.
the way you sang just now, it was as if you were putting ornaments, not leaving a piece of skin. So, I mean, I know that I was so dejected after that exam, but I remember his words
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
these alankars are not to be put right from head to toe. You have to. So anyway, so that basic kind of pull towards a semi-classical was showing up in my khayal also.
No, you make a lot of sense. This is the white space in design, as we call it, right?
Yeah,
The
correct.
white space that lets the
Absolutely.
design itself flourish. From there came Tumri. So you said, okay, this is what I want to listen to. And like most
Yeah.
of us did you try to listen to it more often so you could replicate it, or did you decide now I want to go find a master who I can learn from? How did that
Yeah,
happen?
I realized I needed a master, and that master could only be Shobha Gurtu because by that time I had, started hearing her music.
Nice.
And, it takes a certain audience to understand the beauty of that music. I won't say it's universal.
No.
Not universal because that kind of worthiness of voice, those who are really inclined towards this form that
Yeah.
understand the magic of this. And I had been completely hooked on.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it was like calling up God or something. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
she was so loving over the phone. She said, come, come when you like.
And was this at
It's
the
a,
Worley house, the Worley apartment?
it was at the Grand Road, Bharat Nagar.
Excellent. Excellent. So,
But Mayur, there was a period when I wanted to do both. I didn't want to let go because Khayal was, I felt like, am I lowering myself? Because if I don't sing Khayal, so I went through this period deciding, should I do both? Should I
mm,
just take one? I was very reluctant to let go of Khayal till I realized that in a lifetime, trying to master both or put your attention to both is kind of difficult.
correct.
You
Correct.
have to choose a path. Mohan Nadkarni wrote that in one of my critiques. He said that she has to decide which way she is going.
And
So
you
that
chose the
even,
right way, didn't you?
well, I think so.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
so. I think
Definitely.
so.
The journey that you've narrated thus far, it sounds like you've been smitten by it. And I was smitten very similarly. What was it that in Shobhatai's music, if you were, because you can analyze things well and you can
Yeah.
find the right words for it. What was in Shobhatai's music that got you hooked?
Starting with the voice,
Hmm.
the version of the voice. And as I said, it takes a connoisseur to understand the beauty of that voice. See, for me, this kind of earthy, yet extremely melodious, full of ornamentations, uh, a music that is so imaginative that she could
Hmm.
touch upon other rags brilliantly,
Yeah,
things which you can't expect, and never fumble or slip.
correct.
Also,
Correct.
flawless always. For me, I think the beauty is when that Thumri singer sings and you can picture that entire place from where Thumri began, the kotha, and
Yeah,
you get the
yeah,
feel of that woman sitting there
correct.
emoting to the Nawabs and the lure that
Yeah,
music had.
yeah,
If that is recreated for me,
yeah. Totally,
I get
totally.
completely
Totally, totally. It's
captive
exceptional
to
in
that.
terms of, in case of Shobhatai, because she was not from Banaras or nowhere close. But her name is taken in, I mean, you would write her name in the same line as
Correct.
you would write many other Tumri singers' name, right? You would write
And
Sanjay Bai.
those singers themselves acknowledged her.
I remember Shobhatai telling me that Begum Akhtar was quite fond of her and she used to call her Sharda.
Oh,
Yeah, she used to call her Sharda. So when she came to Mumbai, and Shobhatai could go see her. हाँ वो शारदा को बुलाओ. She would do that to her if she was in the crowd. So
was Sharda a mistake, or because, I mean, for what reason was she called Sharda?
I guess that's what she decided
Or
to call
like the
her.
goddess of,
Well,
something.
I really don't know, but I think that's what she decided to call her.
Call her.
So you said her voice, her all that. A lot of that I'm able to find in you. The reason, again, one of the layers of this conversation will be what we actually took from our gurus, right? So what did we learn? The songs that they teach us or the rags that they teach us. We learn a certain thought process, how to establish a tumri. Like Shobhatai would say, tumri ko nibhana.
For Pandit Firoz Dastoor, I think it was a real journey into the notes, how they're to be handled, how alap has to be done. So for him, as is for all Kirana singers, sur, and sur, getting that
Absolutely.
sur completely one with the Tanpura. And the difficulty, in a way, later on going to Shobha Guttu was the difference in voice production. Because if I sung in that sweet Kirana, soft, kind of little muffled voice, it would not make the impact. I had to slightly, modulate the voice slightly differently than I had been using in my khayal.
Right, right.
Totally different because, here we are going from a softer medium to a louder medium in a way.
So
See the
interesting.
difference in voice quality. So at times, I may land up even with a bad throat because, how we fall into the trap of trying to imitate our guru's voice.
Yeah.
So she was so dynamic that either we were tongue tied or then we were trying to get out sounds closer to her music.
How did this become organic? This voice that you had to create and develop.
Yeah.
Trying to sound like somebody else. If I listen,
Observation,
hmm,
observation, people's observation sometimes.
hmm,
All Thumri singers how do they get that feel in their voice? That was the discovery. Because if we use the khayal voice, I'm trying to take something, just as an example. Let's take, what
Absolutely.
about Pilu?
Yeah,
Pilu.
below it is.
If you were to sing, Bhar Bhar Aayi Mori Akhiyan Piya Bin. Now this is in a normal khula, but
Hmm.
भर भर आई मोरे अखियाँ पिया
क्या बात है.
बिन. So slight different, Now
बिल्कुल.
that was reflection, because I was not getting emotion. I would sing Tumri, but I couldn't see even myself get that emotion. So there's
Right.
something about that Thumri voice, slightly cultivated. I won't say you completely have to. It's a different voice throw. And you know what I like to equate it to? That when a Naika is overcome by sorrow
Yes.
and she's trying to hold back her tears,
Yes.
Mayur, when you try to hold back tears, you get a little tightness and
Lump
little
in your throat. Yeah.
lump in your throat. And
Yeah.
if you sing despite that,
Yeah.
भर भर आई,
Wow.
that even if you're slightly little concerned here or there, no
Yeah.
biggie, as long
Yeah.
as you're doing it intentionally.
Yeah. 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 Totally. Wow.
और अखियाँ पिया, immediately that, but भर भर आई, this you may get the pleasure of the melody, but it won't hit you there.
Nice. Nice. Nobody
You
has ever
develop that.
demonstrated. Are totally? Nobody has ever demonstrated like this.
I think it is the voice throw which is important.
Hmm. Hmm.
And another Thumri singer gave me a tip. She
Hmm.
said, you must be sluggish, not a clear cut. Take this, this is khayal.
Hmm. क्या बात है. Uh-huh.
This sluggishness,
Ah.
smudgy and sluggish.
And it's so frictionless, right? It's
That's a good term to use. Yeah,
and it's
friction.
uneven. It's unevenly wavy. I know what you're saying. Like,
Sluggish, little lethargy, and
I mean, the
getting that.
peaks and valleys also of your delivery also come in a speed which is very peculiar. Very
So
बहुत
it's
अच्छे, बहुत अच्छा.
difficult. We have to cultivate this, plus not be nasal. You don't want
अच्छा.
to get it more nasal also, because there's a tendency for it to become nasal if you're using that full, filled up with sorrow kind of voice.
Correct. Correct. No, this is very exciting. If I was to come back to as a khayal training from khayal to Thumri, right? Uh, you said in your observation you didn't feel like it was any sort of light music in terms of, because I believe now today since then music has gone a lot lighter than it was. So
Oh
आज
yes.
का light music तो बहुत ही अलग है as in terms of what used to be back then.
Oh yes. Oh, yes.
Today,
There's a category more than Sugam Sangeet now. Which,
correct, correct.
Sugam was the limit. Now
Yeah,
we have to come up with something.
yeah, exactly. तो अगर उसकी बात करें तो आपको did you ever find that you as a khayaliya or somebody who has learned khayal found it hard to sing Tumri from a mind and a thought process point of view?
I absolutely felt that.
Hmm.
That I know khayal. Why should I be sing? If I just sing this light, uh, people won't even think that I know serious classical music. So I did feel I was coming a step lower in the beginning, till I realized how complicated and difficult this form is to sing. It's no less than khayal in any way.
Totally,
In fact,
totally.
as you know, khayaliyas are, all shaking when they have to come forward to sing a tune. And
Absolutely.
now you know why. Now you know
Yeah,
why.
yeah, totally, totally. But even in terms of while singing or delivering a piece of Tumri, and you expand upon it, and like Shobhatai did, she would move from one rag to the other. I've heard you do that too several times. You find ways where you can almost see a raga appearing and what we call avirbhav tirobhav, and
Yeah.
go there, meet the raga, only to come right back to where you started,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And coming back is so important. Just soak your feet in it
Yeah.
and come back, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But
Absolutely.
uske liye, matlab, did you find like in the beginning, the reason I ask is I went through trouble of I couldn't just soak my feet. So if I could
Okay.
see a piece of Lalit or the Don Madhyam, as you
Hmm.
see, and
Hmm.
while singing Najariya Lage Kahin or anything, it was
Yeah.
like, and if you
Hmm.
see two Madhyams, I'd get sucked in. How did you manage to not get sucked in? So did you find that, all right, these are my paths, these are my exit strategies, and this is what I need to use in case, and we all I started making mine. What do you want to say?
No, I just did. I did as I was told.
Oh, okay.
I did as I was told. I think she did tell us, "Parvati, don't linger there. Come back."
Right.
So I just did as I was told, and I thought that would be the right way because we did know that the main Thumri Rag was what we're trying to. The mood would go otherwise.
Right.
We wouldn't come back to the original song, and then we had lost interest in it. So not
Absolutely.
so much that you lose interest in the original song.
Yeah. Yeah. We touched upon this very briefly actually in the beginning, and about audiences, right?
Hmm.
And you definitely have a very strong audience, and the audience knows what Dhanashree Pandit Rai sings and what her music is about. What is the difference between the audience that listens to Khayal and an audience that listens to Thumri?
Very pertinent question, and I have to really think. By the way, about those farmaishes, they still come.
Okay.
Some awkward farmaishes do come. For example, they might request, this Patiala Gharana type of thumri. Yaad kiya ki aaye. And how do I say that? How do I tell them without belittling myself that
Yeah.
this is not the genre I deal with?
Correct.
Don't ask me to sing this because they say it's a thumri.
Yeah.
Or they say, ask me to sing some Fayaz Khan Sahab. Now, we wouldn't dare to sing it because that's not the genre you're sort of. So I do get that odd request. And of course, the famous song that is requested anywhere, anytime. Aaj jaane ki zid na karo. Okay, so now to your question about the audiences. You said, is there a difference in the classical and the Thumri audience? Let's take Mumbai, for example. I think the people who understand Thumri are the classical people only.
Okay.
Those who know Khayal, they know that the richness of Thumri. Because to have a separate category of music, listeners who are Thumri listeners, I don't think there is such a category. The audience that I have now, explained Thumri to, they love to hear Thumri. Because I'm explaining the words, I'm telling them what is the beauty of that particular song they're going to hear. Otherwise, the words of that Brij Bhasha or Bhojpuri go above their heads.
The
So
reason
that,
I asked that, Dhanashree, is because I believe there are two audiences for Thumri.
okay.
There is one audience that knows Thumris and Thumri singers, whereas there is this whole younger audience who I happen to know a lot of, even in New Zealand, are the kind of people who look at classical music as the classical element that they hear in Coke Studios, right? The
Yeah.
renditions of Coke Studio, which I
Yeah.
believe is a huge influencer in, or even at that time, Bollywood music of the early 2000s that identified Thumri. Monsoon Wedding was a film by
Oh
Mia
yeah.
Nair,
They had
and that
Raske Bhare.
beautifully used Raske Bhare Ture Nain,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I was Kira Devi Mishra singing.
Yeah,
That was just something.
yeah. So the sound that they created by using
Yeah,
pads and by
yeah,
uh, allowing space in the middle, वो जो था, और simple 8 मात्रा कहरवे में दीपचंद देवी की उसमें लगवाना
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that. So that audience also exists today, and these people are not harrowed by the fact that they don't understand the language,
yeah.
Brajabhasha.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
so they connect to that emotion of Tumri almost instantly,
yeah.
the
That's
sound and the
that.
emotion.
So we have to thank Coke Studio in a way because those
Absolutely.
songs are getting out there. Those
Yeah.
songs are getting out there.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there were more songs as against there's only 5 that
Right.
become most popular, Yaad Piya Ki Aaye and probably a few
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
but
correct.
which there are so many Thumris that Sarlatai has sung. And do you often meet people that who want to collaborate with you in that space? Because I see you as an open-minded musician. You've sung with people from different streams of music,
Yeah.
and well, actually, that could be a whole separate conversation as to how you hold your
Yes.
fort when you do that, or
At the
how.
moment, there are one or two artists with whom I have done, Indo-Western kind of
Yeah,
collaboration. One is Richard Bennett, the pianist from New York, who
yeah.
is quite a renowned pianist from New York. And then there is Merlin D'Souza in Mumbai.
How do you see this technology is emerging, and how can someone like you make best use of it?
Well, we've just discovered in these times we are going through that, having concerts and people are sitting at home, the audiences are waiting for some music.
Hmm,
So I think many artists have made better progress in these months than in the normal
correct.
months where they go out to performances.
Absolutely.
Online concerts are happening. People are putting out their stuff and actually getting views.
Yeah.
Where earlier, you would miss that. I think artists are in their element. Besides the fact that they may not be making the money from it,
Hmm.
but they're definitely getting their voice heard in this time.
So I'm the kind of performer who likes to uh, sing with people in front of me. So I'd
Oh, yes,
struggle, except if
absolutely.
I'm in my own space where I know I'm doing riyaz, or I'm trying to sing something that only I might
Totally
derive
agree.
pleasure from. How do you sort of do you see that as a challenge for generations that are coming and committing themselves to doing music?
And
So
like you, I don't get inspired singing into a cell phone. I wouldn't be at my best.
So I guess things are on the horizon, and there is a lot that will influence how music happens in general. I believe so. But hey, smaller bitaks are not going to go away. What do you savor most? I mean, it's I'm not asking you to choose one above the other, but there are pros and cons to singing in a big Tumri festival, say happening in Shanmukhanand or Nehru Center or
Yes.
wherever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then sitting in somebody's house and
Mm.
with a very eloquent audience of 50. And so, what is the difference in these two concerts?
So the auditorium concert is very impersonal
Hmm.
because there's a darkness, you can't see the audience, and as you rightly know, without that interaction, the magic doesn't happen so easily. You don't know what they're appreciating, what they're not. You
Hmm.
can't see their expressions. So there's a lot of questioning going on in the mind as you're singing. Are they liking it? I can't hear a noise. Somebody's getting up at the end and leaving. So when your mind is distracted by so many of these factors, you're sometimes not able to bring out the best music, as opposed to not just a home baitak, but a baitak in a bright hall where you're seeing the audience. It could be a larger one, doesn't necessarily have to be a small home one, which is also lovely, an intimate home
Hmm.
concert, nothing like it. But
Hmm.
I'm saying the midway between a home concert
Hmm.
and an auditorium is in those lighted up halls which have enough uh, evening light coming in, and they're the regular chairs, you're seeing the audience. That's also a great one, where
So
you can, it's not auditorium where it's
no,
dark, but
exactly, I get it. I get it. So you do place a lot of value on seeing the audience eye to eye, right? In general, yeah,
in
that's
general,
interesting.
definitely, unless you were just going to go and sing one preset song, for
No,
some opening of something.
yeah,
So otherwise, wherever in our kind of improvisatory music, the give and take is important.
nice. One last question: how did
Right.
you decide to do lecture demonstrations?
Yeah, so I think earlier on in the day when I myself was learning music at University Clubhouse, we got so much knowledge. I mean, on aesthetics of music and history of music, Western music. What's that knowledge for? You know, it's for spreading to people. And I was noticing in the classical arts, the snobbery had set in.
Hmm.
Don't tell the name of the rag, don't give this bandish to somebody else. And And the poor audiences were beginning to feel that this music is not within our reach,
Mm.
you know, because even the biggest artists were, you know, when they spoke to the lay people, frightening them, हमारा जो वैदिक, you know, time से आ रहा है, प्राचीन काल से हमारा संगीत सबसे दुनिया से सबसे बढ़िया संगीत, and you know how we got up at 4 o'clock to practice. All this, for me, this mysticism was creating a huge distance. You know, one is, you know, sanctifying the music to such a level that the layman says, "Well, I won't understand." So
Mm.
I found, I said, here's where I can butt in and say, it's not so tough, you know.
Mm. Mm.
It's a simple thing. I felt that I had all that, you know, knowledge anyway from doing my MA and BA. All the theoretical knowledge was there. So it was probably how, you know, Pandit Bhatkande felt when he said, why aren't we notating these? Why aren't we, you know, why are we staying on the oral tradition system? If someone, you know, comes and says that this can be made available
Mm.
easily. If I feel I'm able to communicate, why not do it? So, and
Great.
then at the same time, I met Parag Trivedi around the same time,
All right. Okay.
who was doing the same thing for Western music. And he had an idea. He said, why don't we do Indian and Western and Karnataka, all three together on one stage? So
Nice.
I found somebody I could join up with. And then we, you know, founded that Sabrang, what he called Sabrang.
I'm going back to Mumbai 13 years ago. So,
Yes.
no, yeah, excellent, excellent. Look, very few people actually do what you do in the way you do it in terms of speaking about it and practicing it. So, I just want to thank you for sparing your afternoon.
And I
And
just want to share one line with you, which I read,
yeah,
which said that in any mehfil, when an artist and audience reach out together for a shared moment of joy, that's when rasa happens.
correct.
I thought that was so well put. I don't know who said it.
You're starting a whole different
When an
conversation with
artist
me.
and an audience
Correct.
reach out for a shared moment of joy,
Yeah.
that's when ras happens.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Rasa is a subject very very close to me. I work in the space of product and experience. So we say there is a product, a digital product, and there is a person who is receiving the experience. So the product itself does not have any experience. There's the
Right.
person, and a kind of a person who uses your product will have the experience depending on what they know and who they are and how they see your product. So when we go to these ragas saying, oh, Todi is such a raga with this rasa and that rasa, I actually demonstrate to my students sometimes that when koi bolta hai Lalit kya hai? You know, what is Lalit? And you go, okay, what is Lalit? Then you show a few bandishes of Jogia Amore Ghar Aaye as Vilambit
Yeah.
Khayal. I was taught that as a
Yeah.
Vilambit Khayal. And
Oh,
then,
really? Okay.
yeah. So,
I always learned it.
Jogia Amore Ghar Aaye. There's also the other bandish. Ja re balam va re balam jhoote bachan jhooti preeta nithura nidara tori ja re balam.
Come on. No, that's a whole new, I mean, speed, lyrics, so many things.
Exactly.
At what level do you appreciate Thungri? That is, you know, what our audiences expected when a Thungri is going on. How are we appreciating it? What is luring us? I think to put that into words, like in Khayal, you know, it's the rag. The rag is what do they have to look out for?
Absolutely.
That is we can talk about that at some other.
Sure, certainly.
You're
I
a
enjoyed
fabulous
it.
listener and great for the morale of any artist.
Thank you so much.